Have you ever felt like you're drowning? Like no matter how hard you fight, the world keeps pushing you deeper into a place you didn't choose, a place you never wanted to be. It's like you're standing there, staring at a life that's falling apart, and everyone else just keeps going. They move, they live, they laugh, and you're stuck, frozen, empty. You look at your reflection and wonder who the hell that person is. The dreams you had, gone. The plans you made, shattered. The love you thought would save you, torn to pieces, still breathing, still holding on, but barely, just waiting for the next blow to come. Maybe it's the weight of your past that's holding you down. Maybe it's the regret, the mistakes you can't take back. Maybe it's the loneliness that wraps around you like a vice, making it harder to breathe, to think, to move forward. But you know what? That's the reality of this life. It doesn't care. It never has. The world doesn't stop for you. It doesn't care if you're broken, if you're bruised. It doesn't pause because you're struggling. It moves on, without you if it has to. People will tell you to get up, to move on, to try again. They'll give you their pity, but no one truly understands what it feels like to be crushed under the weight of it all. But listen, this pain, this hurt, it isn't the end of you. It's not the final chapter. This is where you get stronger. This is where you fight. You think you can't go on? Think again, because as long as you're still breathing, you haven't lost yet. You have a choice now, to keep sinking or to start climbing. It's time to rise. Let the hurt fuel you. Let's talk about the pain. Not the kind you can shake off with a deep breath or drown out with distractions. I mean the kind that sits heavy in your chest day after day. The kind that creeps in during the quiet moments, when you're alone, lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, and all you can hear is your own mind tearing you apart. You've been there, haven't you? It's not just sadness. It's deeper than that. It's the disappointment of realizing that life hasn't turned out the way you thought it would. The frustration of trying so hard and still coming up short. It's the betrayal of people you trusted, the silence from those you thought would always be there for you. Maybe it's the weight of failure, that job you didn't get, that project you poured your soul into, only to watch it crumble. Maybe it's the heartbreak of losing someone you thought you couldn't live without. Or maybe it's nothing specific, just this endless, gnawing ache that feels like it's always been there, and you can't even remember a time when it didn't. And then there's the world, standing on the sidelines, telling you to just get over it, as if it's that simple. As if you could just snap your fingers and make the pain disappear. But you can't, can you? Because the pain isn't just in your head, it's in your chest, your gut, your bones. It's woven into you, and no amount of pretending or smiling or acting okay is going to make it go away. But you know what? You're not alone in this. You're not broken because you feel this way. You're human. And pain is part of that. It's messy and brutal and unfair, but it's also a sign. It's a sign that you're alive, that you care, that somewhere, deep down, you still believe in something better. Because if you didn't, the pain wouldn't hurt so much. You don't need to run from it. You don't need to bury it or drown it out. What you need is to understand it, to face it, to take all that hurt, all that anger, all that frustration, and use it. Because here's the truth. The pain isn't here to destroy you. It's here to wake you up. You've felt the pain. You've lived with it. And now it's time to do something about it. Let's get one thing straight. The world doesn't owe you a damn thing. Not fairness, not kindness, not understanding. It doesn't care how hard you've worked or how much you've sacrificed. It doesn't pause to pick you up when you're down. It just keeps moving. Fast, relentless, unforgiving. And the people in it? Most of them don't care either. They're too busy fighting their own battles, chasing their own dreams, or drowning in their own problems. They'll smile at you, maybe even offer a word of sympathy, but deep down, they're relieved it's you who's struggling, and not them. That's the reality, isn't it? The moment you stumble, you realize how few people are actually there to catch you. Friends you thought would never leave suddenly go quiet. The people you counted on start to disappear, one by one, until you're standing there, alone, wondering if you ever really mattered to them at all, because no one prepares you for that kind of loneliness, for the way the world keeps spinning while you're stuck in place, trying to piece yourself back together. But here's the thing. The world doesn't stop for anyone. Not for the broken, not for the tired, not for the ones who feel like they've lost everything. Life moves forward, whether you're ready or not. And that's brutal, but it's also a gift. Because if life doesn't stop, it means you still have a chance. A chance to catch up. A chance to fight back. A chance to prove that you're not defined by what you've lost or how many times you've fallen. The world isn't going to suddenly turn soft and gentle because you've had enough. It's going to keep pushing, keep testing, keep throwing obstacles in your path. And you know what? That's a good thing, because it means that every step you take forward, every battle you win, every time you refuse to quit, it's all yours. You earned it. The world doesn't care. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't. Let them underestimate you. Let them think you're done. Because every second you keep going, every inch you claw back, is proof that they were wrong. The world is brutal. But so are you. Enough. Enough feeling sorry for yourself. Enough waiting for someone to come and fix what's broken. Enough lying there, hoping the pain will just fade away. It's time to make a choice. You can let this destroy you. You can let the weight of it crush every last piece of who you are until there's nothing left but regret and bitterness. You can stay on your knees, broken and defeated, waiting for a mercy that will never come. Or you can use it. The pain? Let it fuel you. The anger? Let it burn away the weakness. The heartbreak? Let it carve you into something sharper, harder, something unbreakable. You think this is the end? Number. This is the beginning. The moment you stop running, the moment you stop hiding, the moment you decide that you're not going to be a victim anymore. Do you know what pain really is? It's power. Raw, untamed, unforgiving power. And if you can learn to harness it, if you can take all that hurt, all that rage, all that sorrow, and focus it, there's nothing you can't overcome. You've been waiting for someone to save you. But here's the truth no one wants to admit. No one's coming, not your friends, not your family, not some miracle out of nowhere. It's just you, alone, against everything. But that's all you need. You don't need their help. You don't need their pity. And you sure as hell don't need their approval. What you need is to stand up. Right now, not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Now, you've been through hell. You've seen the worst this life has to offer. And you're still here. You're still breathing. Do you even realize how powerful that makes you? Every time they pushed you down, you got back up. Every time the world tried to break you, you found a way to keep going. Maybe you crawled. Maybe you stumbled. But you moved. That's what the pain is for. To remind you what you're capable of. To show you that even at your lowest, even when everything was falling apart, you didn't quit. And if you can survive that, then there's nothing that can stop you. They don't see it yet. The world doesn't see it yet. But you do. You can feel it, can't you? That fire, deep down, it's not gone. It never was. It's waiting. Waiting for you to wake it up. You have the power to turn this pain into something unstoppable. You don't need to run from it. You don't need to hide from it. You need to own it, because pain is just a reminder that you're alive. And as long as you're alive, you fight, you claw, you rise. So, stand up. Right now. Not because it's easy, not because it feels good, but because you're stronger than you think. This is your turning point. The moment you decide that the pain doesn't own you. The moment you take everything the world threw at you and throw it right back. You've been forged in fire. Now it's time to burn brighter than ever before. Let's be honest. This fight you're in, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be quick, and it sure as hell won't be fair. You're going to stumble. You're going to fall flat on your face again and again, and it's going to hurt every time. The world's not done testing you. Life doesn't hand out victories for free. It makes you bleed for them. It makes you earn every step, every inch, every moment of peace. You've probably asked yourself, why me? Why does life seem so much harder for you than for others? Why does everything feel like a battle when it looks so easy for everyone else? Here's the truth no one likes to talk about. Every single person you think has it together, they're fighting too. Maybe their battles are different. Maybe their pain doesn't look like yours. But I promise you they're carrying scars you can't see. And some of them, they gave up. They let the pain win. They let the world tell them who they were, what they were worth. They stopped fighting and became exactly what life wanted them to be. Another forgotten soul fading into the background. But not you. You're still here. You're still fighting. And that matters. You don't have to win every battle. Hell, you don't even have to win most of them. The fight isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about standing back up when you don't think you can. About taking one more step forward, even when your legs are shaking and your lungs are burning. You know what separates the strong from the weak? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not even intelligence. It's grit. It's the refusal to quit, no matter how hard it gets. And I know what you're thinking. You're tired. You're exhausted. You've been fighting for so long that you don't even remember what it feels like to be at peace. But listen to me. Every time you rise, every time you push forward, even when it feels impossible, you're winning. You're proving, not just to the world but to yourself, that you're stronger than the things trying to break you. This isn't about being unshaken. It's not about being fearless or invincible. It's about knowing you can be hurt, knowing you can fail, knowing you can lose, and still stepping into the fight anyway. That's courage, that's strength, and that's what makes you dangerous to everything trying to hold you down. So, no, this isn't going to be easy. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to feel like giving up. But every time you get back up, you take a little more power away from the pain. You take a little more control over your life. Because this fight, it's not just about survival. It's about proving to yourself that you are more than what's happened to you. That you are stronger than the things trying to destroy you. And every scar you earn along the way, wear it proudly. Because it's proof that you fought. Proof that you refused to quit. Proof that even when life threw everything it had at you, you didn't break. You're not fighting for a perfect life. You're fighting for your life. And that's a fight worth every ounce of strength you've got. The hardest part is always the beginning, isn't it? The first step forward, when everything inside you is screaming to stay down. That moment when you're staring at the mountain ahead and it feels impossible. But here's the thing about mountains. They don't care how big or small your steps are. They don't care how fast you climb or how many times you have to stop to catch your breath. The only thing that matters is that you keep moving. Momentum doesn't start with a sprint. It starts with a single step. One painful, agonizing step. And then another, and another. Until slowly but surely, you start to realize something. You're not standing still anymore. That's the trick. It's not about making some massive leap. It's about finding the smallest victory you can manage and claiming it with everything you've got. Because every step forward, no matter how small, is a step away from the place that tried to bury you. You're going to feel doubt. You're going to wonder if it's even worth it. You'll hear that voice in your head whispering, "You're too far gone. You'll never make it." Let me tell you something. That voice is a liar. It's the voice of every failure you've ever endured. Every person who doubted you. Every wound that hasn't healed. And it's terrified. It's terrified because it knows what happens when you don't stop. It knows that every step forward is proof that it's losing. That you're becoming something stronger. Something it can't control anymore. And that's the key: movement. Progress. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be fast. It just has to happen. Start small. Maybe today you just get out of bed when it feels like the hardest thing in the world. Maybe you take 5 minutes to focus on something that brings you even a sliver of peace. Maybe you write down one goal, just one, and take the first step toward it. It's not about perfection. It's not about never falling. It's about momentum. It's about getting up one more time than you fall. And here's the thing about momentum. Once you start, it gets harder to stop. Every step you take makes the next one just a little bit easier. Every small victory builds into something bigger, something stronger. Until one day you'll look back and realize you've climbed higher than you ever thought possible. But you have to start right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when it feels convenient. Now. Because the longer you wait, the louder that voice of doubt becomes. Every step forward is a declaration, a promise to yourself that you are not staying where you are, a refusal to let the pain define you, to let the fear stop you, to let the world keep you down. So move, crawl if you have to, drag yourself forward if there's no strength left in your legs, just don't stop, because every step forward is one step closer to the person you were meant to become. You've been through hell, the kind of hell that most people wouldn't survive. The kind that leaves scars on your body, on your mind, on your soul. And yet, here you are. You've felt the weight of the world pressing down on you. You've stood at the edge, staring into the abyss, wondering if you even had the strength to take another step. And maybe there were moments when you didn't. Moments when the pain won, when the darkness crept in, when you gave up, just for a little while. But you came back. You came back because something inside you refused to quit. Something inside you still believed there was more to life than suffering. Something inside you knew you were meant for more. And now, you're here, listening, breathing, fighting, breathing. The world isn't fair. It never has been, and it never will be. It will test you, break you, push you to the brink of giving up. But every time it does, you have a choice. You can let it win. Let it convince you that this is all there is, that you're not strong enough, not smart enough, not good enough. Or you can prove it wrong, because you are more than your pain. You are more than your mistakes, your failures, your past. You are a force to be reckoned with, a survivor, a fighter, a relentless storm that refuses to be tamed. The scars you carry, they are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you've endured, that you've fought battles most people couldn't even imagine. They are your story, your armor, your legacy. And this story of yours, it's not over, not even close. So stand tall, look life in the eye and show it that you are not afraid, that no matter how many times it knocks you down, you will rise again, stronger, harder, unbreakable. Because the world doesn't get to decide who you are. Your pain doesn't get to decide who you are. You decide who you are, and who you are is unstoppable. This isn't the end. This is where you begin. That's all. I'm out. By the way, if you want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Until next time.